I dive into the Xbox Scorpio news, I want to state this one thing. Nier Automata and Senran Kagura are the number one selling, well, number one, number two best selling damn games in the PC world on Steam. They're pretty good. People representing booties, people representing titties. Yes. Perverted games for the win. That's all I say about that one. Now on to Microsoft. Well, basically everybody's saying, well, Microsoft themselves saying that games are coming for the Scorpio. Which they better be coming for the Scorpio. Because honestly, Microsoft guys are going crazy about how the Xbox Scorpio is the most powerful console ever. They basically revealed it last week, stating they reviewed the specs that we already knew about, but they confirmed the specs, and people are going crazy like, ha, take that, Sony. While most of us sitting back playing Horizon Zero Dawn and Persona 5, while they probably playing Ghost Recon or Mass Effect, two games that we can play on the PS4, but still, they lose this at ammo due to the fact they got a powerful console. And this brings me back to this major thing, that the Xbox Scorpio version of PS4 Pro is the same as the PS2 versus the original Xbox. Original Xbox was way more powerful than the PS2. It was. But it lacked the games that the PS2 had. And it'll be the same problem with the Xbox Scorpio. It's not as powerful, and it's going to have the same problem. Sure, a lot of people hyping it up in the YouTube community saying that this may be the greatest thing ever. Gonna do this, gonna do that. Bye bye Sony. But Sony already got 50 million units sold, and they just still in the same generation. While Microsoft basically made a next gen console. While Sony didn't do it, it would have been stupid to do that because it would have pissed off 50 million people that already have a PS4. Then you bring out something that as powerful as the Scorpio, basically the level of a PS5, and it would piss off everybody. Everybody was sitting there like, what the fuck do you do? We betrayed. We betrayed.
You're missing, say, like, is one word that you can say that can save all this.
What's that?
Future-proofing.
Yeah.
Well, that was 2 words, but still.
Yeah, they future-proof. They could have future-proofed the PS4. It could have been what the PS Pro is right now, but they had to pull that trigger. You know what I'm saying? They could have waited to about 2014 at least a PS4.
Here's the thing about future-proofing, okay, is that basically we already know how these businesses work. We have been doing this for years. We have been doing this ever since the original Nintendo, okay, ever since the 2nd generation leading into the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. Okay, is that basically over time companies will essentially put out, well, now there have been a few generations when they haven't done that, but still they usually build their systems to last around 10 years. Okay, and usually when they do that, somewhere along the line they have to put out different versions of that or different versions of this console. I mean, again, PlayStation Slim, you know, like that's like basically the Slim alone, the Xbox Slim. You kind of have like different versions of, and the Wii. Well, now Nintendo really doesn't do it all that much, well, anymore. But still, you see that in terms of the PlayStation and also the Xbox, them putting out different versions. However, in terms of power, a lot of them, they love, well, this is usually a thing that companies that they love to do. They always love to quote back to the PlayStation 2 success of saying that it wasn't the most powerful, but it had the most games.
It was weaker than the GameCube and weaker than the Xbox.
Well, again, Nintendo kind of shot themselves in the foot with its design of making this smaller for no discernible reason. And Xbox kind of was a late bloomer with them coming in like really late.
Like what they did this time, basically the same thing all over again.
Well, yeah. But there's a difference here, though, is that back in those days, people really liked Halo enough to whether they could keep the Xbox alive. Today, people don't really there aren't that many games to really go out and get your Xbox for. I mean, again, you know, not too many people really kind of care about the Mass Effect thing anymore, especially since Mass Effect Andromeda kind of shot itself in the foot with it.
With the bad face animation.
Well, now they fixed
it with the update.
Well, they fixed the eyes, but that's about it. But when the Xbox Scorpio comes out, okay, and regardless of how powerful it is, the real question is that what are they going to do with that power? Because again, even though like it's supposed to be like a brand new thing, it's supposed to pave the way for what's going to happen in the gaming industry. The question is, what will you do with it? Because again, sure, their games.
Go.
I get the fact that basically that it's supposed to be a mega powerful system, and yes, with it the games can run at 60 frames per second, but
they take actually no compromise 4K.
Okay, they need to stop with this 4K garbage. Okay,
I don't care about 4K. I don't own a 4K TV.
Even if you own a 4K TV, like this is that 3D garbage all over again. When Sony was trying to say, yeah, man, play your games in 3D. Nobody cares about 3D. Nobody cares about 4K. They care about the games that come on your system. And yes, it may be fine that basically the console you have is by far the most powerful and it can run all this stuff on it. But so can my PC, okay? My PC can do the exact same thing. So why are you trying to sell me a console with no real games on it? And yes, some games they may come out for it, but then again, the question is is this enough to get me to buy your console for $600 or $700, however much it is? That's a question there. And also, since they still have the same like confusing type of sales practices, it's very difficult to kind of back it. I mean, again, regardless of what anyone says out there up on the internet, Sony has given us a pretty discernible reason as to buy a PlayStation 4 or even be happy to own it. I don't know if there's a reason to really own a Xbox.
But to be honest with you,
you always got to do that. You gotta jump into your collection.
No. It's just two major games. Like these right here.
That suck your life away.
These right here, like, it's like the reason from what was it, February and April to have a PS4. Like seriously.
Well, pull up the other one, cause I know you want to.
No, I ain't gonna do it.
But then again, I have that game, so you know, Yakuza 0.
I got Tilted Stereo, but even though
that's on PC, or at the very least,
it's on Persona is on PS3, but still you only play on Sony console. The person that commented on my last video, I'm looking at you. I'm sorry.
Spite. Get that check. But still, even with that though, it's like there's a reason for me to buy this console. I mean, sure, you can buy what's the name for Nier and play that on PC. You can buy Tales on PC.
Nier Armada, like on Instagram, I constantly keep seeing 2B or people call it 2B or 2B ads. It's just I keep seeing 2B. I gotta play that fucking game. But go ahead.
I love that robotic woman, but still, even with all that though, it's the whole thing of look, man. I see what they're saying. The Scorpio's premium product has all that.
But does power really matter?
But at the very least, like, give me a reason to want to get this console.
Because the PS3 was the most powerful console of this generation, but the Wii won.
Well, it still beat out the Xbox box in the end, so that's all that matters. To be honest, Nintendo kind of hasn't mattered, man, like ever since they took over.
Even though Nintendo won that generation, no one seemed to care.
Well, of course they don't care because it's basically been like say they won out of novelty.
And not to mention, Sony still got a few goddamn hits like Days Gone, Detroit Being Human, God of War.
You have things to look forward to.
The Last of Us 2.
To be honest with you, I'm not even basically mad at Xbox in this sense. All I'm saying is that there's nothing to look forward to when you buy this console. Like, there are no games that I'm trying to buy.
Maybe we gotta wait till E3, which is 2 months from now.
Or honestly, better yet, is basically like honestly, if Sony didn't do that PlayStation experience in 2016, back in December, honestly, they would have been in the same boat. Have been like, well, what's the point of even buying consoles now? Because there's no reason for it, because there's no games coming out for them. But then they did that. They say they went so far as to bring back Ace Combat. A game that most likely nobody was even asking for.
Yeah, but they're on Xbox now. But
of course. But
another thing is Uncharted. They come out in August. I forgot what date, but the link or the article will be in the description below.
They were even talking about bringing back the Kingdom Hearts games for PlayStation 4. You know, like the Kingdom Hearts 2, 1.5 and 2.5.
That came out last month.
They were bringing those back. bad. And I'm like, that's enough to where like
and
you
that
had to get
and
this
Microsoft people like, damn, okay, I know we getting Kingdom Hearts 3, but why you can't play that? Because
they were always on Sony.
And not to mention the people that got a Sony console like Japanese thing normally, they like to play JRPGs like Persona 5.
In so many ways, I can see why people in Japan, why they don't care about the Xbox or why they don't know about it, is because the console really doesn't promote anything game worthy, like to really even interest people outside of.
They had one major game,
say
you canceled it.
You want gun bang bangs like. Well, Scalebound's gone now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, Scalebound was that game. I mean, it was like that one game. Like, you know, I'm thinking about getting that. Hey, wait, damn, man. You know, I was thinking about buying that to play it on my stepdad's Xbox.
That junk kills me every single time. And like you talk about that thing, and most of those guys say, "Well, yeah, man, you got to get the Xbox because it's American made." Well, listen, American made and American made games really don't
Donald
seem like
Trump is American made. You see what he doing?
We're American made, and you see that we like anime music.
Yeah, this shit crazy. But anyway, we're gonna end this video.
We're defective.
Yeah, it'll be the PS2 versus the Xbox. All we'll give it to PS Pro, but the PS4 versus the Scorpio. Cause the Xbox one already lost. But anyway, we out of here.
I like Scarlett Johansson. She's amazing.
What the fuck that? We out of here. Peace.
I like her ass. Sorry,
bruh.